One. Welcome to another episode of Core Discussions. My name's Legacy.
And I'm Max.
Diamond J.
And Hunter.
Well, welcome. We are here to discuss the NFL draft that just happened this past weekend. It was filled with excitement. There was some happy picks. There was some bad picks. And we're going to go through it. So, gentlemen, are you ready?
Ready.
All right, so we're going to talk about the number one pick, obviously. What came as no surprise, it's Caleb Williams. They tried to make it seem like maybe he won't be first pick. Will the Bears stick with Justin Fields? But no, it ended up being Caleb Williams. Guys, what do we think about Caleb Williams? And in fact, we could also talk about the Bears' other move too, because I feel we're gonna have to talk about them together.
Well, for Caleb Williams, Philip, I think he's good enough to where in just 3 years or so, I think he already could be a top Bears quarterback of all time. But that's more just because the Bears have sucked.
Well, I mean, the Bears are doing it right and giving him so many weapons.
Oh yeah, and they gave him another one, Roma Dunze.
Yep.
I mean, he's
this just shows me that Keenan Allen's just a 1 year rental.
Yeah, but I mean, they're definitely loading up to see if they can potentially make a run. I don't think they will. But
No,
they should make playoffs. If they don't, that's a disaster.
I don't think they will.
Yeah, I don't think they will because I'm still iffy on their coach.
It's tough. Well, it's tough for a rookie quarterback to do it. I mean, I know C.J. Stroud just did, but I think C.J. Stroud's better than Caleb Williams.
If Caleb Williams does have a CJ Stroud year, they will make playoffs. There's no doubt.
Well, also, like, they won, what was it? They won, like, 5 or 7 wins?
There you go.
7 wins. It's 2 more games you have to win. And in the NFC, you're making playoffs.
To be fair,
I will give them their division's not the easiest.
Well, it's not that.
With
No,
the
it's not.
Vikings
It's not so. Well,
and-
no, the Vikings aren't going to be so
But
good.
it's not
anymore.
impossible. Let me say, with Detroit, it's going to be a
Detroit's gonna be good.
Green Bay.
Green Bay, we'll see. Green Bay's going to be interesting.
Still be good. It's expected to be good. We'll see if we have a second-year slump from Jordan Love, but it's feasible with the NFC. If they're in the NFC, I think it's a little harder. We'll see, because, yeah, C.J. Stroud had an amazing year. Caleb Williams, talent-wise, Max and I watched a lot of Caleb Williams this year. His talent is, like, ridiculous. The throws he can make, the movement he has. He had his bad games. Granted, several of his interceptions, like, I think a good amount of them came in one game, and I think it's kind of more USC's O-line.
I'm kind of on the train that I personally think Caleb Williams is an overrated prospect. I don't think he's going to be bad, but, I just don't think... Because, this is an extreme example, but, you got that Nick Wright, he's already saying he's better than, like, Mahomes and all that shit.
Yeah,
come
Because
on.
it's ESPN, it's just we need to have takes for engagement.
But people are acting like he's already a top 10 quarterback. He's not even close.
Yeah, no, now if you're saying that, yes,
Well,
you're going
we
too far.
won't know until he plays.
But I will give the Bears, like,
They're doing it right.
Like, what the Panthers should have done with Bryce Young is, we're drafting you, we're giving you a lot of weapons, because that is the biggest fault we've seen of great quarterbacks. Andrew Luck, you all will say Cam Newton, I'll even agree with that. Cam Newton, we got this franchise quarterback or this really good prospect, we need to surround him with as much talent as we can. So at least we can say, we tried.
Panthers didn't do that.
Fails, this is on Caleb.
Sure
Gave
didn't.
him Keenan Allen, DJ Moore.
Oh, it's stacked. Yeah, absolutely stacked. Even the tight end, Cole Kmet has gotten better each year.
Yep.
My only problem with Chicago's draft was drafting the punter like in the 4th round, but that's about it.
No, Jake. I knew someone was gonna say that. See, this punter though, he knows what he's doing. He played for Iowa. No team punts more than history of football than Iowa.
It's still like a 4th rounder, though. It's still a 4th rounder.
I know, but
you could have waited until the 7th to get.
Do you know how they say they need 10,000 hours to become an expert in something? This guy has 10,000 hours of punting.
But what if he's done so many punts, his leg is all shot now,
There's no data on that. Is there a fall off for punters?
The Bears have Gerald Everett, Hunter. Gerald Everett.
Yeah, Gerald Everett,
But he won't start. He won't
a
start.
secondary guy now.
Yeah. But that's not bad.
That's good. That's a good backup. Yeah, that's a really good backup.
Dude, who's their running back? Didn't they sign somebody?
Jeff
Swift, that's right, yeah.
So yeah, and in a receiving game, that's good. Again, I still have questions on their coach, but I'm like, you're really doing well, because I think that was the question: is are the Bears going to give him what he needs? And they've really said, no, we're going all in, and making sure this guy has every single piece. We'll go into the next guy, number 2 pick. It is Jaden Daniels going to the Washington Commanders.
There's only 2 quarterbacks I think are going to be any good, and they're the top 2 picks.
out of years where the top two quarterbacks, usually you're not going to great situations. Both of them are going to pretty good situations. You got talent around you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Commanders got some good receivers.
Yeah, I saw some Commanders fans on Twitter. They're still not over the team trading Sam Howell, but I'm like, Sam Howell wasn't any good. I don't understand why people are so upset.
He threw for so many yards, but that's like.
But it was all like, it was all new. A lot of it was near the end of the game, and he throws a ton of interceptions. Jaden Daniels, he's going to give you the athleticism you need.
He's good in the pocket, and he's also, he can take off, but he doesn't really run. He'll run if need be, but he does not try and run too much. He also has a smaller frame, so he really is smart about when he runs.
As long as he can throw better than Justin Fields, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
If he throws like Justin Fields, it's going to be a problem. That's really the only thing you have to worry about him. Now, Washington did have 6 picks in the top 100, so they loaded up in the top end of the draft. So if they hit on these, that's going to be, unfortunately, it's not going to be good for the rest of the division. But to be honest, I think they had an okay draft. The top 2 picks were really good. After that, I thought they could have done better with having that many picks in the top 100. But it really just depends on how some of these later guys do. The top 2 were good. Apparently, the defensive tackle that they got in the second, most people had in the first round.
They got Dan Quinn, which I think his coach is okay, but he's great with defense. So that also is a big pusher of even if you can't make your star quarterback a lot of weapons, having a really good defense that kind of keeps them more in games also helps a lot. So I kind of believe in that. It's going to be interesting to see because with him, he has Cliff Kingsbury, I believe, as the offensive coordinator now. So that's going to be an interesting situation. I mean, Kingsbury, I don't think he's a great coach, but I think offensively, Cardinals were good. So we'll see what he does and what he draws up for Jaden Daniels. All right. We're going to go into our 4th pick.
You don't want to talk about the 3rd pick? You don't want to talk about the 3rd pick? You don't want to talk about the 3rd pick?
Yeah, what's up with that? What's up with that?
No, I see. Mine
That's
shows
suspicious.
4th pick. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Mine doesn't show a 3rd pick.
Mine does. Mine does. It was Drake May, UNC quarterback.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm seeing.
And where did he go, Max? Where did he end up?
Oh, that would be the New England Patriots. Oh, and that's actually Phil's favorite team, by the way.
I was hoping they were going to do the trade for Daniel Jones, but they didn't.
I was too.
Daniel Jones sucks.
You'll find out. You'll find out. Wait till we get some neighbors.
You say this every year.
But now he actually has a receiver.
The last 2 years we've done an NFL preseason preview. You have both said this is the year for Daniel Jones.
Never. But the people they keep getting suck. The people they keep getting suck. Darren Waller sucked. Kenny Galladay sucked.
Have you ever thought that maybe Daniel Jones just sucks?
No, it is not Daniel. It is not Daniel Jones.
Right, who's he throwing to? We just talked about with Caleb Williams. Who are you throwing to?
We're not going to let you flex because we're here to talk about Drake May and how is he going to be for the New England Patriots? What do you think?
He's not going to be great because I don't think he's good. You know what?
Phil, who's better, him or Mac Jones?
I might as well have Matt. I mean, he's more athletic. I mean,
where did Mac go?
I have no hope. The only positive I think is maybe they will suck. Now they don't have Bill Belichick. They will suck enough to finally get a first pick because they don't have Bill Belichick's defense protecting them anymore. I mean, I feel bad because I do like Gerard Mayo. I do not want him to get fired his first year. I liked him as a Patriot. Seems pretty solid guy, but I didn't like the pick.
UNC quarterbacks don't have a good track record.
I will eventually.
When was the last time there was a good one?
I don't think there ever been. I don't think there ever
have to move and try and believe. He's going to have to prove it to me. He needs to prove it to me he's this guy. Because I know they said, he's got a great arm. He is very mobile. Yes, he's 6'4". He's big. He's athletic. I'm sorry. I've seen the story before. I don't know if he's got it up here. I've watched him versus State, versus Duke, several other teams. Has not impressed me. I don't see it. It has not impressed me.
Am I going to have to refund the jersey I bought for you?
Say they're the opposite of NC State. NC State's QBU.
Yeah, NC State's definitely.
Now, for the Patriots, it will be interesting to test this wide receiver theory here to see if Bill Belichick just couldn't do it or if it's just a Patriots thing. Because they took 2 here, one in the second, one in the fourth. So I'm interested to see if one of them turns out pretty good. Then I know this is a new era for the Patriots.
Who are they taking the second? I didn't watch the draft. I was working.
Jalen Polk, Washington.
He's what the other Washington receiver.
I did like that pick. I did like Polk. Again, my thing, I wanted us just to go to Marvin Harrison Jr. if they didn't get him, but they've been so staunch on. I get it. It's a quarterback league. You need a quarterback, otherwise you're not gonna do it. But I felt, shoot, go get Flacco, sign somebody. I don't care.
I read that they got 5 quarterbacks now.
They need to figure it out somehow. I mean, maybe this other. I will say I'm more excited for the guy they drafted, Milton.
Joe Milton,
So,
yeah. I'd like the
Oh.
Tennessee quarterbacks.
I was gonna say, if we're gonna go new quarterback, I was hoping somehow that Washington was gonna get Drake May, then New England gets Jaden Daniels.
I wish.
I would have been so much happier. But maybe Drake May surprises me and is a lot better than I thought.
We'll see how quick it is for you to join the Drake May bandwagon.
It's going to take a couple games. But yeah, the receivers won. That was pretty good. That was also a reason I kind of wasn't bad if they moved back, because this was a pretty good receiver draft. That if they traded with the Giants, they could have gotten Neighbors there. That would have been pretty cool with it. So there's my New England basis. Maybe Drake May shocks me, and he's that guy.
I also love how. Well, hold on. I also love that the 6th-round pick that they got from the Mac Jones trade is when they took the other quarterback. So they're essentially saying Mac Jones equals Joe Milton III.
Dang, that's bad. That's bad.
Hey, but hopefully, New England, you've done it once with a 6th-round pick. Let's do it again, baby. Let's do it again with a 6th-round pick.
Come on.
Mm-hmm. We're going to go into our next pick. 4th pick was pretty chalk still at this point. Arizona Cardinals drafting Marvin Harrison Jr.
They had 8 picks in the first 3 rounds. That is nuts.
And a lot of people aren't that enthused about their draft.
All right.
Still.
Dang. So you get 8 picks in the first 3 rounds, and people think you didn't
Oof.
land them.
Besides
Besides
Marvin
Marvin
the first
Harrison.
pick.
Yeah,
of
course.
Yeah, I really don't see that going wrong.
First is, out of all the receivers, he was the surefire.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of good receivers, but he was surefire. Like, I don't know.
And they really had to pick a receiver there. That's really a huge need for them. So, yeah, it made sense. The rest of the draft that I can't speak too much on, I'm not 100% familiar with all of these people here. But, yeah, I don't know. They probably could have done better, just like Washington could have. But at least they got Marvin Harrison Jr. right. I really don't see how he's going to fail.
No, that's great. That's great. Give him another weapon with losing Hollywood Brown. One of the best receivers prospects. I've watched quite a bit of his game. Dude's a beast. Dude is a beast. If he's anything like his father, they're good for a long time. They will be great in that receiver department for a long time. But yeah, Marvin Harrison, good solid pick. We're gonna move on to the next one. This was where it was we started really hearing rumors, trades. There was a lot of speculation this team was going to trade down. The Chargers were going to trade down and get more picks. They opted not to, but they went with Joel Alt, the offensive tackle.
Yeah, I see a lot of people, which they could have got Malik Neighbors to help Herbert because they don't have receivers, but the O-line is bad enough to where Joe Alt makes sense. So I'm not upset about that pick if I was a Chargers fan. They did take a receiver in the 2nd round, and of course in the 3rd round they got the Michigan linebacker, Jim Harbaugh's there. So I actually do like those 3 picks. I think would have went Malik Neighbors or Doomsday, just because I think you need to have star receivers, and the Chargers have none. They don't even have a good one because last year's 1st-round pick is a dud.
I think so too, but I could see their line was atrocious. Also, Jim Harbaugh is very much a power. He likes to run the ball a lot. That's kind of just his signature, so he knows he needs a good line.
Yeah, I thought he was going to end up with Blake Corum. I was kind of surprised he didn't.
Yeah, honestly. Who's their starting running back?
I thought he was trading down. I really thought he was going to trade down, get more picks.
It would be Gus Edwards.
Oh, okay, that's right. They just signed Gus Edwards.
And they signed Dobbins, I think. Did they sign both of them? Yeah, they signed both of them.
As in JK, the man with no knees,
as in JK
with no legs.
Yeah, so they're
No, Jacob. That's Peyton Wilson, apparently.
Yeah. What round did he end up going in?
3rd, right? 4th?
Yeah, end of the 3rd.
They signed him for what, 3 games until he gets hurt.
Hey, look, when he plays though, he's good. Just
He just ain't gonna play long.
Gus Edwards gonna be a good fantasy pick.
Guess so. Yeah.
Because they didn't draft they drafted a running back in the 6th round. That's not going to change things. They did take Jerry Rice's son. I was happy he finally got drafted. He was sitting there forever. Got drafted in the 7th round.
I didn't even know Jerry Rice's son was playing.
He
was at
caught touchdowns from
USC.
Caleb Williams, dog.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
USC.
But yeah, Joe Alt, I think is a good pick. You always want to invest in O-line. The great teams do it. You got to have a solid O-line.
Yeah.
He's supposedly, supposed to be pretty good. So we'll see. His dad played the NFL too.
Was he Chiefs, right?
Yep, Chiefs tackle.
Yep. as it goes, you get a quarterback, protect your quarterback, get to the other quarterback. That's what you got to do. We're going to our next pick. This one was often talked about. Were they going to trade? What were they going to do? But they went with the smart pick at this moment.
Genius.
It is the New York Giants finally getting our
Finally.
boy DJ Daniel Jones a solid weapon. And if this
Yeah,
guy
Malik-
doesn't ends up
yeah.
panning out or gets hurt, I don't even know. I don't know, man. Giants might be cursed.
I think Malik Neighbors is a stud. So
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah.
going to be
I was really hoping the Giants would take JJ McCarthy just because we all think he's ass. But no,
yeah.
they took a good player here. We'll see if Daniel Jones can get him the ball. But so that's my only fear with him. I think he was asked about Daniel Jones during his press conference, and he didn't seem too enthused about it. He did this boilerplate answers, but you could tell he was like, I don't tell him what I really think about him.
Mm-hmm.
Give him time, man. Give him time to spend some time. And then when he sees Danny why they call him Danny Dimes over there, then he's gonna love him. He's gonna love him.
Yeah, okay. Sure. Keep your hope alive. But now, I would be worried about the Giants if they had a good quarterback. But I really think Daniel Jones keeps them. I'm telling you my honest opinion. I do think he's
I
a
know.
quarterback.
You just hate her.
And
You're a hater.
yeah, so I would think the Giants would be a better team if they had even a decent quarterback. But
You're a
I feel
hater.
like some of the other
You're a
picks.
hater.
They took Theo Johnson in the 4th round, which I think was a smart pick because Darren Waller is supposedly retiring.
Or his ass anyway.
Supposedly he got divorced. He's getting divorced from Kelsey
Yeah,
Plum.
apparently,
too.
he cheated on her. How you cheat on her?
My dude's fumbling the bag so
Oh,
hard.
well, no. Is he back on the Coco?
Obviously not. Obviously not a smart man. Not a smart man.
But they took Tyler Nubbin, safety. I wouldn't have minded the Eagles got him. They ended up with some better players. We might be talking about that later. But I thought they had a pretty decent draft. I think I would put Washington above them just because of Daniels there. But they did great in the first 2 rounds.
You've already paid Jones. Get him a weapon. Get him a solid weapon that's pretty explosive. Give him some more pieces. They also don't forget they got Burns this year from Carolina, which that helps. So that helps their defense a lot. So I know that there's going to be questions about, well, what about the running backs? Because again, they did lose Saquon Barkley, who was a big part.
Yeah, who's their starting running back now? Singletary. That's not terrible, but it's not. He shouldn't be.
It's a drop off though. That's a drop off.
Drop off.
I mean, yeah. I mean, most players are going to be a pretty big drop off from Saquon because Saquon was still.
Yeah, so right now, the running backs are Devin Singletary, Eric Gray, Tyrone Tracy Jr., the guy that drafted, and then Gary Brightwell.
If you have a good offensive mind, you can do a committee and just figure out what they need to do. Like, you don't need one to take the load. Like, I feel a lot of people just feel, we need one to take the load and be a Derrick Henry and just run. No, you can just do several, and each of them could get 400 yards. Each of them could do their job, get you each 400 yards, and that's still doing what you would want from your main running back. So they don't need to be explosive. You can put now you can put the ball in the air a little bit. You can put the ball in the air a little more. So we'll see what happens.
All right, sure.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go, Dayball.
Cool.
All right. We're going to go into the next team. Again, kept it pretty chalk. J.C. Latham going to the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I don't have too many notes on this draft, but the last 4 players they took all start with the letter J. Just something random.
Apparently, they're going to try and move him to left tackle, and I don't think he did. He didn't do that at Alabama. So I'm interested to see how that goes. Yeah, I did like the North Carolina linebacker Cedric Gray. I did like that. I am kind of worried about T'Vondre Sweat. I do think he's good, but he does have has had issues.
Yeah. If he has his head on straight, he's gonna be
Exactly. And for me as a Titans fan, I know all too well about how players with bad mental, like especially Isaiah Wilson, how that goes, and they wasted already a high pick on him.
Isaiah Wilson lasted 2 weeks on the top.
And then the Tennessee hasn't really hit a lot on linemen. It seems like, at least because they had Jonathan Cooper, he wasn't too good. I can't remember his first name.
They haven't really hit on draft pick lately.
Yeah, true. So we'll see. Even if Tennessee hits on draft picks, they get rid of them. So I don't even want to talk.
Like who? What's an example?
Somebody in Philly. Somebody that's in Philly right now.
AJ Brown.
That guy got a 3-year extension. Did he get a 3-year extension? I heard.
The Eagles like him so much they've given him 2 more contracts. Y'all guys could even give him 1. But now they've overpaid Calvin Ridley, who would be $100 million.
We'll see. Will Levis was better than I thought he'd be. So I am happy about that. I'm very interested.
And they did surround him with DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley, so that's decent.
They're now also figuring out because they got no more Derrick Henry, so that's going to be interesting.
I know. See, that's the sad thing. It's just no more Henry.
And they overpaid for Pollard. He wasn't.
They really did.
They
Well, I
did.
thought their backup. What's his name?
Oh, you talking about Tajay Spears?
Yeah, I thought he's like good enough to be their starter.
Well,
I mean,
people are worried
it's a
about
running
the
back.
The issue.
From what I've read about
The
is
issue
their
is
issue. Worried
Tajay
about
Spears came into the league with knee issues.
yeah.
Oh,
They say
really?
he has like
Yeah.
little to no cartilage in one or something like that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I think that's why they
So they had
got,
to, but still.
Yeah.
But I mean, their draft itself is kind of just boring. But that doesn't mean it's bad. It's just they invested in
they
the
filled needs.
lines, both sides. Yeah. So we'll see. Nothing exciting. I don't think they're going to be that great this year. But like Jacob said, as long as Will Levis shows that he is competent, that's a win for the Titans.
Yeah,
Anyway.
if they move Latham to left tackle, hopefully that pans out. And then if Devondre Sweat, if as long as he locks in, he's gonna be pretty good.
All right, we're going to go into the first surprise of the draft. It was controversial. Some people like the move, others don't. Newsflash, we all don't like the move. It was the Atlanta Falcons shocking everybody and taking Michael Penix.
Dude, you're crazy. That's such a terrible pick, dude.
For most
When he had like when he had borderline first round anyway.
To me, he's not
He was
even a
going to
second
be
rounder.
first round.
He's not even a second rounder to me.
I mean, he's about 35 years old.
he has an extensive injury history as well.
True. Does not make sense because
What if
You just
Cousins
got-
plays well every year he's in Atlanta? You're not going to get rid of him because quarterbacks can play into
You
their
just
40s
got
now. As we see
Cousins.
from Brady.
you got Cousins, who's guaranteed $100 million. I think the third year they can move off of him with 25 and dead cap, but that's still 25 and dead cap. Like that's NFL's hard cap. It's not the NBA where you got a soft cap. So, and then by the time you can move off of him, really, you're starting a guy who's going to be 26, 27. So you better hope he's like, I'm sorry, how many times have older quarterbacks really panned out? Like starting their rookie year, 26, 27 really panned out for teams. Because people will be like, oh, well, the Packers did it with Jordan Love, or, Kansas City did it with Patrick Mahomes. I'm like, okay, first of all, those are different situations. Jordan Love is a lot younger, was 21 and a lot younger than Aaron Rodgers. So that kind of made sense. And Aaron Rodgers kind of was starting to talk about retirement and not being happy with the team. Also, Packers have a history. Next, they drafted him at the end of the first round, not a top 10 pick. If it was a top 10 pick, that would have been a much different story. I'm like, this is not apples to oranges, man.
It's not too many
No.
times
Kirk
where
Cousins-
someone takes over after like a multiple years, and then they go, well, I could think of like Steve Young and Aaron Rodgers, and that's about it's not many other ones.
Jordan
like-
Love will possibly be another one.
Yeah.
I think Jordan Love's a stud, dude. I
Yeah,
really
we'll
do.
see.
Do you want to hear two quotes to show you? Terry Font, I don't know how you say his last name perfectly, but Fontenot. He has two quotes this week that kind of contradict themselves. So someone asked him about it. He said, well, about drafting Penix when they had Kirk Cousins. He said, well, if we don't have to use him for 3 or 4 years, that must mean we're doing pretty well, which one means you're wasting 3 years of
Yeah,
quarterback pick. Top 10 that could have helped this team potentially go to Super Bowl. 2, he had another quote because they asked him, why didn't you draft the cornerback? Because they're really bad at cornerback. He said, we would have liked to have added to that position, but you don't want to force a reach or do something you shouldn't.
Force
That
a
is
reach.
hell of a quote.
Force a reach.
Yeah, I mean, when you did that at number 8, you're going to say that about cornerback? I mean, you're so
Did
full
you
of
see
shit. I mean, that's
the
ridiculous.
video of their like draft room of Terry? Like he was talking to Arthur Blank, I think, and it looked like he was trying to. And Arthur Blank was probably questioning why they made that pick, and then it looked like he was just explaining it. It was an interesting video.
Yeah, and I did see that.
Yeah.
The issue is that the quarterback they took itself, all of us here of the belief that he just isn't that good anyway.
Yeah.
To
Well,
be honest,
like I
yeah.
said, like I said, I didn't think it was only 2 quarterbacks in this draft are going to amount to anything.
And like
So,
so essentially you're just you take that pick and you're gonna hope Kirk Cousins sucks. Like it doesn't make any sense.
No, but 28, you're wasting.
Oh, yeah.
You're
I know.
wasting several years
Yeah.
because at that point he'll be almost out of his. What is the advantage of drafting a quarterback in the first round? Rookie deals. At that
Yep.
point, he's going to be in his 4th year.
And you're gonna pay a second contract for someone who hasn't even played yet.
yeah, it's just
Completely
really,
wasted all the value of it. So good luck. Hopefully he pans out. You have 1 year to figure it out. If not, you just wasted that pick. It's a top 10 pick. Like, come on. Be smart about
I
this.
wouldn't have a problem with them picking Penix if they didn't sign Cousins already.
Well, or if they didn't do it in the top 10, I don't think they needed to do it in the top 10.
I just think it's just because quarterback's so important.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
People
sure,
are freaking
sure.
out. They're freaking
Because
out.
after Vikings, because the Vikings would have needed a quarterback, Broncos needed a quarterback, Raiders needed a quarterback.
I mean, there is a severe lack of quarterback talent in the league right now.
Oh yeah,
It's not like how it used to be in the 2010s when there were studs everywhere.
I think that was a huge issue because quarterback's just so important. If you don't have a good one, you're not getting far in this league.
Yeah. Well, because like I think Patrick Mahomes is an amazing quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but I also think he's very lucky that the quarterback talent in the league hasn't been worse in like 20 years.
And with the rule changes too.
Yeah. Because don't get me wrong, Patrick Mahomes will still be a Hall of Famer. I'm not saying he'd be trash, but like he's not going against Manning. He went against Brady and didn't even beat him. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Brady, Breeze.
I mean, you can be throwing Big Ben, Phillip Rivers, even the middle tier was still high.
Yep. You got some good quarterbacks, but like not a lot of great ones in my opinion.
I think that's why they're freaking out so much.
The other argument I heard was like somebody was trying to say, well, worst case scenario, what? One of them's not good. Either Kirk Cousins ends up being good and then, Penix sits, or Penix ends up starting after a year because Kirk Cousins hurt more than we think. And I'm like, no, worst case scenario, this completely backfires in your face. What if Kirk Cousins ends up not being that good? Penix is also not good. Then you're like, great, you made two stupid moves. I didn't see the point in this.
In my opinion, this is easily the worst draft. I didn't even like what they did in the other round. So in the second round, they took a defensive tackle that a lot of people had in like the 4th or 5th round.
Dang.
And mind you, here's the thing. While we do think they have a very talented set of weapons, if these don't work out, you just wasted another year of Bijan Robinson, who running backs have a short shelf life. Drake London, you wasted another year. You wasted a year, and another year of Pitts is wasted. So congratulations, you had the stack, and you've wasted all these talents. So good job. We'll see. All right, we're going to go into the 10th pick because we already hit the 9th pick with the Bears. We'll go into the guy people kept hyping up and rumoring, and it was J.J. McCarthy going to the Vikings.
Sorry, Vikings fans. I think he sucks too.
Bro, this is going to go... I think this is going to go exactly like Christian Ponder. This is going to go just like Ponder.
Well, I think there's another quarterback here that's more closely resembles Ponder, but we'll get to him here.
I did like Dallas Turner, though.
My boy, Sam Darnold is still
Sam Darnold's definitely got
McCarthy. I'm scared. Yeah, go ahead.
No competition.
They're going to start McCarthy, though. Sam Darnold's not starting all year.
No. Sam Darnold's riding it up.
Shot at first.
I think Sam Darnold will start the year for a few games at least.
And it's the crazy thing. I said all 6 of these quarterbacks are more likely to be bust than 3 of them panning out.
Well, yeah, for sure.
That's usually what happens in most drafts. It's very rare. Besides, I think Burrow's draft.
I think they said first-round quarterbacks fail. I think it's like 75-80% of the time they're bust.
Yeah, because Burrow's draft is one of the rare times where you've had him, Herbert, and Tua that all panned out.
And then
been pretty
Rivers,
good.
Manning, and
That's a dream. See, that is the ultimate dream when you have 3 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. But I will say, I think there was just too much hype on him. A lot of people are like, "Oh, he's a winner, dude." That Michigan team, he was so good. Are we really talking about him being a winner? The Michigan team was really good. Did not depend on him.
Well, I think calling someone a winning quarterback in college, that's the most pointless thing. They could have gone to a school. Yeah, they could have gone to school and they were absolutely carried. I mean, Jordan Parker Wilson for Alabama, totally carried. Winning record, though. That's so meaningless.
Mahomes and Jared Goff had losing records.
John David Booty.
He's lost 2 or 3 games.
But for McCarthy, I mean, he has a good arm, but again, I just don't see it. I'm not seeing it at all. So I'm glad this wasn't my team. I had to trade up and get him. Speaking of, when we get to Denver, I want to mention a quote Sean Payton said. So I think it's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard of. For the rest of Minnesota's draft, I mean, you really had the other first round pick, and then they didn't pick till the mid rounds. So the other guys is kind of hard to decide. But I think they took any edge rusher from Alabama is always a decent pick to me. They hardly ever bust.
Seems like you can't go wrong.
So I think first 2 rounds, that's the first one not good, but the second one I think it is good.
So at least he's going to a situation you got arguably the best or one of the best receivers in Jefferson, and you also have Addison, who's a stud. So, and a good offensive
and TJ Hawkinson tight end.
Yeah, Hawkinson, you're going to a pretty good situation.
Yeah. Oh, no, he is, but I still think he's trash. Well, what's that third string quarterback that was playing at the end of the year throwing 400 yards with this team? He sucks ass, and he was doing it. It's the old 49ers quarterback. I forget. Nick Mullins. He was carrying him up.
Yeah.
And he sucks. So, I can see him doing okay.
Well, we'll see, because, Jefferson's contract's extension about to come up, and it's going to be interesting how he reacts to this, because I feel he's also a person that cares about winning and is going to look about his situation and be like, yo, who you giving me?
I
I think
believe it.
this year's very big. I don't think he's just about his money. I think he's also about what are you doing?
I tell him straight up, I'm not resigning.
We'll go into next. The Jets making the smart pick. There was a little there was
I don't know.
thoughts they were going to go with somebody else, but I still think this was a good pick too.
No, it is a good pick for the long run. Aaron Rodgers is 40 years old. They need to win now. I think they should have gone Brock Bowers. Who's a tight end on this team?
Brock Bowers
Tyler
would've been
Conklin.
I couldn't tell you.
It's Tyler Conklin. I think Brock Bowers should have been the pick. They need to win now. Aaron Rodgers not getting any younger. They don't have a good backup quarterback, so they don't have anything to preserve for the future. They need to go all in right now, and that was not an all in right now move. Because I think they have both tackles right now set. They have Dwayne Brown and they have Tyron Smith. I know Tyron Smith gets hurt a lot, but I think the tight end would have a much more immediate impact.
I think so, but I think their fear is just because he got hurt last year in 4 plays. Their fear is like, crap, we got to make sure this dude's protected because last year there was questions about the line and really making sure we can keep him upright. I agree with I could see the Bowers pick, but I also see where they're coming from this pick of like, we can't have him get hurt again. And they're probably looking at it as Garrett Wilson was 1,000 yards with trash. Brees Hall is looking pretty good. He can get us some wins. Like, honestly, if we had a decent quarterback, we get a whole lot more wins, and we got to keep this guy upright because our line has been shaky for a while.
That's why they did that in free agency. They got the offensive lineman. So I just felt like for the draft, I mean, come on. They didn't have any other tight ends. Tyler Conklin, again, is their best one, and he's not number one. And Aaron Rodgers, he's 40. He can get hurt with a completely elite O-line. It doesn't have to be a bad one. I mean, it just takes one more thing. So, I don't know. I didn't like it. I did like that Braylon Allen pick in the 4th round. A good compliment to Brees Hall. And they did take Jordan Travis in the 5th, but I'm not high on his potential. I don't know. I don't see him ever really being much.
No, but I don't mind when teams draft a quarterback in like the 5th and 6th round.
No, it's worth the risk. I just don't see it. But that's 99% of those picks don't work out. So
we'll go into the next baffling court. Well, they kind of just had to at this point. It was Denver taking Bo Nix.
Okay,
their next starter.
Before y'all get into him, look, Sean Payton, he's such a smug asshole. He really thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. Someone asked him at the draft recap press conference, said, there were rumors about you trading up, were you? And Sean Payton's like, no, he essentially said, I lied to everyone to get people to think I was going to trade up. I'm like, you're such a genius, Sean Payton, that you stood there at 12 and took the 6th best quarterback in the draft, and you took Bo Nix, who was a 2nd or 3rd round quarterback talent. So I'm like, you're not that smart. You reached for Bo Nix. Again, you had to, but you're not this genius. You're a mad genius over here for picking Bo Nix at 12. I mean, come on. He sees Bo Nix as the next Drew Brees because he's highly accurate, but you only get one Drew Brees. I mean, come on. It's just something that's not easily replicated. But I just think it was way overdrafted. I don't really see – I see more potential in Michael Penix than I do Bo Nix.
I do too.
And JJ McCarthy, I would also put above Bo
Well,
Nix.
I don't know. I think JJ McCarthy is. I think Bo Nix might just be better.
Well, no, JJ McCarthy has a much better arm.
Yeah, but I'm thinking you do like a West Coast offense kind of deal with Bo Nix. You get that to work.
True. True. Okay. If that is a correct
Bro, they're both. They're both gonna be backups. Come on.
You're right.
I think he was a product of a really good team.
I agree.
JJ
Oregon.
McCarthy
I mean,
was.
I guess another one. Oregon. When's the last time they had a good quarterback? The best one they've had anytime
Herbert.
recently is Marcus Mariota. Oh, Herbert. Yes. Okay. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah. Mariota is a good backup.
Okay. They did get the one. You're right. But that was their one. You know.
Yeah.
It's like, see,
Again, they're not NC State producing quarterbacks left and right.
Oh, but for Denver, I also like the 4th round pick with Troy Franklin, Oregon. If you did get Bo Nix, you might as well get a receiver that's familiar
Exactly.
with him.
I was gonna say I did like that they got him someone he was familiar with, so that was a good idea. And the Notre Dame running back they got, he could
I like
be a
that.
decent. But yeah, I liked it. A good value pick.
For 5th round, yep.
Yeah. So no, it's okay. I just honestly,
Yeah,
I
just
just
really
don't, I
don't
just
like
don't think Sean Payton has it anymore.
Let's go to the Raiders.
I like their pick. The first one, just 'cause I think Brock Powers is going to be a good
Great
player.
pick. Yeah, that's a
But
great pick.
They did just draft Michael Mayer last year, and they're kind of redundant.
well, Max, they
Yeah.
might do what the Patriots did with Aaron Hernandez and Gronk,
But see, I think the one issue is that I don't think both are competent blockers. I think Mayer may not be the best blocker.
He's probably better than Bowers, I would think, but I don't know.
You know, it's NFL, anybody can learn. So if they do learn how to block, then yes, I could see a 12 formation working for them. And I do like their second pick, Jackson Powers Johnson. That's a hell of a name for an offensive lineman.
True.
But like I said, when
Really-
you're the Raiders, you gotta take best player available.
I feel like a lot of people crapped on their draft. I think the first 2 picks were very good. The issue with them, who's a quarterback? I mean, Gardner Minshew probably will start most of the year,
Yeah, I'd
but
imagine
still,
so.
they need next year. They need to invest heavily and get in the future
yeah.
there. They're starting to get a lot of good pieces, though. I don't know why they couldn't figure out what to do with Hunter Renfro. I don't know how you can't have him in your wide receiver room. I
Is
would
he?
easily
Is he?
put him
Where
in
did he
slot.
go?
He's a free agent.
Oh.
Free agent still. So I like the moves here. I don't think they're going to be challenging for a division or anything. They'll still be about the same
Well, no,
level
not
they
this
are.
division.
So, yeah.
Not as long as Mahomes quarterback.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say
But
no, Kansas
They
City.
do have Antonio Pierce, and he knows how to get the most of his team, unlike McDaniels, who we knew would be a disaster.
Yeah. Good luck, man. All right, we're gonna go ahead, kind of skip to the Panthers. They were originally not in the first round, but they traded up, got Xavier Leggett.
Which I kind of liked. I mean, because they obviously wanted a receiver, so I kind of like they traded back in so they can get the 5th-year option on the receiver.
Well, it's that and the Bills were probably gonna pick one because they picked one.
Well, it's also
Oh, for sure.
The Patriots are trying to trade up back in the first round to take a receiver.
Yeah,
And they got the exact guy we wanted.
yeah. Just for his voice alone.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's that and the size. Like I like the size. He just reminds me kind of a little bit. If he keeps up, he could be like a similar to DK Metcalf.
Yeah, and the fact that the Panthers subreddit hated it means I love it.
Right? They hated the pick.
Oh yeah.
they hated it.
What?
A lot of them are confused. Like, why would you trade in the first round, like for the 5th-year option?
Well,
Duh.
and what the Panthers did, I love the second round trade when they got a future second.
Yeah, yes,
Phenomenal
sir,
business.
yes, sir.
So, if anything, they should be
Not much.
talking about how great that trade was. Not that you traded. What y'all even trade? Like a 5th round pick to move up one spot?
Yeah,
Some of
they
that.
got a 6th-round pick.
What a bunch of babies, a bunch of weenies.
Well, it's funny people act like the 5th-round pick is the most valuable pick in the world.
You're gonna hit on like 20% of those.
If that.
If that.
I like the running
Okay.
back they got.
And they were very upset by that pick too.
Yeah. Well, they just hate it because you traded up for a running back, and running back equals bad to anybody on social media. I love the pick because you cannot go through another season if Mount
And
Sanders
Chuba
is going to
Hubbard,
be
Miles
that bad.
Sanders, too.
And Chuba Hubbard, who is average. Jonathan Brooks has some juice to him, and also I love that you took him away from the Cowboys, who really won.
I also
They
like
definitely wanted him.
the tight end the Panthers got too.
Yes, I like that a lot. I like that
that's
a
one of
lot.
my- that's one of my favorite picks of the draft.
Y'all definitely needed some juice at tight end. Y'all been miserable ever since
Yeah.
Greg Olsen left.
Yeah. And so I was reading that people had him ranked as like the 2nd or 3rd best tight end. So I was like, I'll tell you
Yeah.
that.
I like it. The linebacker
Yeah,
that got in the 3rd, not bad.
Yeah, because I was really wanting the Panthers to draft Peyton Wilson, but I guess
They
if he has
must
no
have been
knees,
worried.
then
Yeah, they must have been worried about his knees.
And I'm with you on the running back. Like, I know people say like running back's not as valuable.
I mean,
again,
second round. I mean, who gives a crap? I mean, after the first,
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
after the
also-
first round, the draft's just a crapshoot anyway.
Yeah, how do you help a young quarterback give him a really good run game? If you can't give him a great receiving core, give him a really good run game so the ball can kind of go out of his hands
Yeah.
more. AKA Dak Prescott's rookie year.
I like it. I mean, a lot of people I saw gave Panthers near the bottom of the league in draft.
What? Man, come
I
on.
liked the Panthers draft,
Yeah.
honestly. I actually liked it.
Well, I mean, that's the thing with these draft grades. They're all nonsense anyway.
But I mean, people gotta have something to do, man. We can't just sit
Oh,
here. and
I
just be
know, I know.
oh yeah. But now I like the receiver pick. Him with Mingo. No, we'll see about Mingo.
Yeah.
I think he's still pretty good. He was hampered by just a bad offensive system and all that
Bad,
sort of
bad everything, really.
Yeah, we'll see. And also, like, honestly, if you look at the past several years, wide receiver has been one of the biggest hits in the draft. Has had some
Yeah.
of the least amount of busts in the last several years. First round receivers usually pan out.
This is
And they
the-
provide instant impact.
This is the most I'm looking
Mhm.
forward to the Panthers season in quite some time.
Wow, yep.
Been,
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's been
and
tough.
it seems like they're trying to do Bryce right. So I mean, this is really make or break. If he's anywhere near as bad as he was,
If he's the same
done
as
after
last
this year.
season,
He's
he's
done.
done. If he has another season like last year, there's no shot.
Yeah, guys, they beef up the O line and they beef up the weapons.
There's
so
no excuses after this year.
Got him a good, solid offensive game with the coach has had back-to-back 4,000 yards. Gino looked great under this coach when this guy was
Baker
doing it, and Baker just looked great with this coach. So hopefully,
if he played like Baker did last year, I'd be very happy. 28 touchdowns, 10 picks, 4,000 passing yards. I'll take that.
I still believe in Bryce. I still think he was Just given a really bad, crappy situation.
Well, when you get
But they've done their great thing. This off season has been solely about improving stuff in front of Bryce. They've done a phenomenal job. We'll see if it all pans out. But
and
you know,
plus, I think Bryce's
they
confidence
tried.
was shattered during that rookie year. I think it was just shattered.
Well, he's got a rebound now. They did a good job trying to prepare him. So he has a shot this year. This will be essentially his new rookie year. I think he got kind of Trevor Lawrenced his rookie year. You know.
Yeah. Hopefully he has a year 2 like Trevor Lawrence, not year 3.
All right. So, yeah, thank you all. Thank you all for listening, watching, like always. Comment, subscribe. Let us know who your team is. Down below.
I'm sorry.
And let us
We're just
know
going
what
to
you
skip
think.
over the Eagles draft as if they didn't have
Oh,
a
yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Did they? They drafted a
Not
white
bad.
cornerback, so I mean that's all. I mean that's
No,
pretty much.
no.
Yeah.
No, you understand.
All right.
This Philadelphia Eagles draft broke barriers. We
Oh yeah.
a white cornerback and a white running back, breaking barriers.
8 trades too. That's crazy.
Yeah, 8 trades, tied the
sorry,
NFL draft
sorry.
record. He added a 3rd, 4th, and 5th round pick next year. I mean, Howard Roseman's the best GM in the business. And then they got Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJohn to remake this secondary. Guess get Bradbury. I'm sorry, Bradbury, you were good for a couple years ago, but now it's time, man. We got to move you out to pasture, man. I'm sorry. So I like those 2 moves a lot. And then they also draft in the 5th round. I don't know how good he's going to be, but they did a goodwill draft, and they drafted Jeremiah Trotter Jr. I mean, that's going to be a
I
fan
like that
favorite
one.
immediately. And then the only pick I'm questioning really is the 3rd round pick, just because they took a developmental linebacker / safety that they have done in the past, and those they never work out. Most recently was with Davion Taylor, which none of you have ever heard of. And exactly. So
Sure
I don't know.
have.
We'll see. But I like most of the draft, even the 5th round receiver. Like I said, Jeremiah Trotter. So yeah, A+ draft. I can't believe you're about to skip him.
Not bad. Max, I think Nick Cesario will have a little argument with you about best GM in the league. I'm just saying.
No,
Some people say the Bears GM now, Ryan Poles.
Well, if the Bears
What
win,
have
we'll
they
see.
done?
We'll
They
have to
haven't done
see.
anything yet.
They have to win first.
I'm just saying that's what people are saying.
Harry Roseman has a Super Bowl, Phil. That's just saying.
I'm going to say Nick Cesario has a Super Bowl. Maybe not with
Who picked the Patriots?
them, but, you know.
You gotta count that.
He was personnel, you know. He was personnel.
He was in the building. Yeah, okay. Come on now.
He was director of personnel. I
Come
will
on.
say after he left, the drafting wasn't as good. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing out. You know, maybe again I have bias because he's a New England boy. You know, we'll see. I also think your team, your team did well, but out of all of our teams, yours has the least amount of holes really to figure out. I feel a lot of their holes is someone goes to coaching. Yeah. So all in all, pretty good. It's going to be interesting. Again, kind of have to wait a couple years, sometimes a couple years or a year to see how this draft stacks up. And then we'll probably be back here again next year as we talk about the prospects for next year and who's going to be number one, who we want, and what happens. So good luck to all of our teams. All right. So that hits the draft. Again, let us know in the comments below what you think, what your team is, what you think of your team's draft, any other things. Maybe you're a Vikings fan or you're a Falcons fan. Good luck to you, buddy.
Sorry.
So my name's Legacy,
And I'm Max.
Bobby.
Vitamin J.
And Hunter.
and may the discussions begin.